black man.
That's right.
That's right.
That's right.
That's right.
That's right.
That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. Receive this word, white man.
That's right.
That's right.
That's right. You celebrate Christmas, don't you, brother? Yes, you do. That is a white holiday.
White holiday. Black power. Black is power. Black power. That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. Black is power. Black is power.
Oh, man. Brother, can I speak to you, please, brother? Lost another one. Do you feel as if this is right? Boys, you need to come join us, bro.
That's right.
You need to come join us.
That's right.
That's right.
We are not equal.
We are
That's
not.
right.
Our ancestors did not live for this.
That's right.
Poison.
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 Poison. You will not stop our brothers or sisters from the Constitution. That's right. That's right.
I'd rather be in the cell than to be in hell. That's right. Free man.
Free man.
Free man.
Free man.
Free man.
Free man. That's right. John in the window, chapter 16. That's right. A white man will beneath emancipated souls. That's right. That's right.
How can I help you, sir?
I do not need help. I will assist myself. What form of payment for this, please?
Whatever is easy for you.
Is it because my skin is black?
We out here bringing our people back to the law, statutes, and commandments, man. We do not follow rules made by white men. We do not follow rules made by white men. You are not a sister, and you will not proceed to be a sister.
I'm sorry.
That's right.
That's right.
Now, now.
That's right.
Now, now.
That's right.
Now, now.
That's right. That's right. Who is your master? Who is your master?
What y'all doing after that? Is that the party or something? What's your name in fantasy?
Barley.
Oh, shit. You thinking hell? Nah, that's dope.
Hey, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I'm going to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rucha HaKodash, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai. Double honor is to the elders, apostles, and bishops at Great Millstone who rule well. Peace, love, and safety is to the hopeful elect document out there doing this work. Much love to the scattered elect and to the few sincere women that subscribe to the true doctrine. This is Brother you call them out for the Great Millstone Camp, the branch out here in Omaha, Nebraska, coming back with another lesson. We're willing to feed and to edify the lost sheep of the nation of Israel through the Holy Spirit, Rucha HaKodash, with the Israelites consisting of the so-called Negroes, the so-called Hispanics, and the so-called Native Americans by the seed of your father, no matter what you may look like. And I want to get into these clips that I played. One was, you have IUIC, they're, doing their march, their annual marches, okay, and a clip right behind that I played was something that recently came out, and this is, where I actually got the unction from, was the elder in Great Millstone, South Carolina, which the elder Manata Zakba, all right, which is his YouTube channel is GMS South Carolina 08, and he was playing this individual Drewski, which is an entertainer, and he was mocking the IUIC, or really the Israelites. I'll just put it like that. He's mocking the Israelites, and the inspiration for me to hit the button on this is not the fact that it's this individual Drewski that's doing it. The Most High is going to get rid of niggas like that anyway. And also knowing that in these last times that, or as it says in the book of 2 Peter, that there will come scoffers, And scoffers are not only the ones who are in the camps, but, individuals like this as well. As it says in 2 Peter chapter 3, And verse 2, it says that you may be mindful of the words which were spoken before of the holy prophets. Matter of fact, let's start at 1. It says, this second epistle, beloved, I now write unto you, and both which I stir up your pure minds by way of remembrance. And that stirring up, to stir something means to agitate it or to aggravate it. Okay, and that's how we were when we first found out about this truth, who we were. You know, the names of Yahweh, whom this world ignorantly calls the God, and the name of Yahweh Shai, whom this world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. That was a stirring up of our minds. Okay, knowing who Esau Edom is, being the so-called white man, all this was a stirring up of our minds. Okay, and it's putting us in remembrance that we may be mindful of the words which were spoken before by the holy prophets, and of the commandments of the apostles of the Lord and Savior, knowing this first, that there should come in the last days scoffers walking after their own lusts. You know, and a scoffer is just someone who's gonna, really someone who scorns, which means someone who's gonna detest what you're saying. All right, but that can also go into individual making mockery. Okay, and this is what this individual Drewski is doing, which, to hell with him. My alt in this lesson is more of with IUIC. The fact is, because you're making this ministry of ours a mockery. You're making it you're Americanizing it in a sense. All right, they walk around, they marching down the streets like the fucking Black Panthers, man. So when a nigga sees that, especially a nigga who is deemed as a comedian in this world, yeah, they're gonna take advantage of that. Like, oh yeah, this is getting a lot of attention. This is easy to imitate. I got an entourage of niggas. Let's go get a bunch of purple shit and walk down the street and just say that's right, because that's all you've seen. That's right, that's right, that's right, and you're making mockery of it. But IUIC, you make the ministry look bad. And I forget who it was that said that about Great Millstone, that we make the ministry look bad. And the thing is that over here, Great Millstone, we're pushing prophecy. We're talking about the times that are coming. We're giving breakdowns. We're giving an understanding to these scriptures, dark parables. We're giving the true names. We're doing what Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai told us to do. And you have, I forget who it was. Baba Kushah, pardon me for that. But come out and say that the GMS makes Israel look bad. No. Shit like this makes Israel look bad, man. Okay? But at the end of the day, the world's going to be judged for making mockery of this truth anyway. But if you have the true names like Bishop Nathaniel does, the Bishop Nathaniel over the IUIC, he has the names, right? He has a video, and I'm sure there's many of brothers that have that same video that you did many years ago. It was like a 2-hour video where you was going into the name heavy. Even if it's been scrubbed from the internet, you took it down on all your platforms. Once it hits the internet, it's a wrap. All right, I'll just put it like that. But let's get this precept here in the book of 2 Corinthians chapter 6 and verse 3. It says, giving no offense in anything, that the ministry be not blamed. And that goes with how, we operate on a daily. When we move through our society, are we acting as so-called radicals, as the world would say? Or being belligerent and telling individuals, just we're at the grocery store telling people who they are. You're an Israelite, right? You're supposed to be with no white woman. Yeah, no, we're not doing that. We're not going walking up to Esau and saying, hey, man, you're Edomite according to the Holy Scriptures. No, we're not doing that, man. We're just teaching the word directly and correctly, and we're giving the sense to the Scriptures. But IUIC, because their leader, Bishop Nathaniel, is all about that money, all about recruiting, and that's another thing. Even with the parody that the individual Drewski came out with, he was like, man, you need to come over here, man, and it just so happened to have a spare garment, that we know that over time, with at least the last few years, that IUIC is about them numbers, man. Bishop Nathaniel's not about the truth. He's about numbers. He's about bringing in revenue. He's about bringing in that money. All right? But let's get this word offense real quick. right? It says, giving no offense in anything that the ministry be not blamed. So our conversation, as it says in 2 Peter, the 3rd chapter, has to be within all holy conversation and godliness. But that's not the case with all Israel. So when you get into this word offense, it's Strong's G 4349, which is proscope. It says an occasion of stumbling, to do something which causes others to stumble, i.e. leads them into error or sin. You know, like, hey, you know, another thing, telling your congregation that they can get that jab, man. Bishop Nathaniel did that. You had a bunch of, I believe it's like maybe 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago, where a lot of those individuals over there at IUIC, I want to say at least 20 plus individuals over there got that jab, and they all passed away. All right, yeah, that caused someone to stumble, because here it is, that 2020 situation where everybody's wearing them face diapers. Esau Edom came with a solution right after that, and you telling your congregation it's okay to take it. All right. Or, you know, and what's another way that IUIC, and I didn't intend to make this about IUIC, but you are, you know, fuck it, man. You making a ministry look bad, man. You giving us a bad rep. So when Esau Edom comes down, you know, it's ultimately going to be because it's prophesied. All right. So I'm not going to put that on no particular group, because the Most High said that Esau Edom was going to come down with great wrath, knowing that he had but a short time. But, you know, you those of you that are new into this ministry, you know, maybe whether you went up on IUIC or you up on one of these other alphabet groups in Israel, and they're doing things like this, best believe there's going to be tribulation that comes, right? Well, let's get this precept, right? And this is, I believe, in Matthew the 13th chapter. Let's just go straight there. Where it goes into the parables. Okay. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 13. And let's see where we can start. Verse 20, right? It says, but he that receiveth the seed into stony places, the same as he that heareth the word, and none with joy receiveth it. You know, and you know, I concur with the elders and certain other I concur with the apostles and certain other elders and different brothers that have made the statement that there could be some elect amongst these different alphabet groups, IUIC, ISUBK, GOCC. There could be elect amongst them. Okay, but you have a lot of individuals that are in it for the you know, for the flashiness, so to speak, you know, for the recognition as I'm doing something, you know. So, you know, you know, pretty much your mindset is in the wrong place, right? So that this is what receiving that seed into stony places, the same as he that heareth the word and none with joy receiveth it. You happy to hear about who you are? You know, you start calling yourself a king. You know, these Israelite women start calling themselves queens. You feeling happy about yourself, okay? But it's on the front. It's a superficial feeling. It says, yet hath he not root in himself, but endure for a while. For when tribulation or persecution arises because of the word, by and by he is offended. So I'll bring this out to say that those individuals that are coming in, especially in these last times, if all they see is the fancy garments, we marching in unison, you know, then they're entering into this thing for the wrong reason, and there's no solid foundation. And then when something comes down, when tribulation comes down because of the word, they're gonna fall off, possibly even be destroyed, man. And this is something that this is the energy via through all this marching that IUIC is doing. All right, all the MOTB in Revelation 13 is not the micro C hip. All that shit, you're gonna cause a lot of people to fall, man. But guess what? The Most High is the one that's gonna judge. Okay, this is His word. This is His ministry. These are His prophecies. This is His movement. All right? Or I wouldn't even say movement. This is his movie. You know? So the minute the individuals start falling off or, you know, go astray, you gotta. I ain't gonna just say specifically IUIC because it's not just them. Our conversation has to be right as well. How we, you know, when we dealing around brothers. Because if we dealing around brothers and just pointing at somebody else, but our conversation, which is our conduct, is not right in Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, that could cause the ministry to be blamed also. You know? But to do it do it blatantly, do it out there and be marching and doing all that shit, the Most High ain't with that. Most High ain't call for that. All right? But yeah, I just wanted to get into that real quick. Didn't want to drag this lesson out too long. Just wanted to get on here, say a few words, make a couple points, bring out a couple scriptures, and I pray that this was an edifying lesson. Right? So with that being said, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachach, Kodash, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai. Double honor to the elders, apostles, and bishops at Great Millstone. Peace, love, and safety is to the elect. Shalom.